we got a fantastic show lined up for you. Our celebrity historian friend Raffi Andonian is joining us on this one. We're talking about the history of beauty pageants because I don't know if you know Northwest Arkansas, but Miss America's teen is from right here in Northwest Arkansas. Rogers native, goes to Bentonville High School, Peyton Bowling. We're going to be talking about all of that with Raffi a bit later in the show. Welcome back, everybody. We got Raffi Andonian, celebrity historian, joining us once again on the show, and this time we're focused on pageants. And I think one of the reasons why we wanted to reach out to you is because a Northwest Arkansas native, Peyton Bowling, shout out Peyton, won Miss America's Teen when that pageant happened just a couple months ago. So welcome to the show, Raffi. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, how cool is that? A local local feature, and a national platform, and it's not the first time it's happened, by the way.
Is it not? Tell me more.
There are 3 Miss Arkansas that have won Miss America, not necessarily teen, but the adult competition. And not long ago, in 2016, there was one, you might remember, from NWA, actually from Fayetteville specifically. Yeah. So it's a tradition of people coming out of here going on to win Miss America.
I know, man. We got we grow them good around here, you know. And you brought us some crowns today as well to celebrate, right?
I figured exactly. I got to put on my beauty crown as well as a celebrity historian. I thought it matches the pink bow tie well, don't you think?
It's perfect. Yes, Bo, you have yours on. Does it fit?
I'm getting there.
You're the king of late night TV, really. I'm just here.
Getting on the hair.
Yeah. So how far does this go back, Raffi? Pageantry and folks competing at that level.
The way we think of it, it goes back to the 1880s, and think about it as something that you would see on the coast, in the beach, resort towns kind of thing. And it kind of makes sense because if you think about beauty pageants, a lot of times, you know, what gets a lot of attention is a swimsuit contest, right?
Sure, yeah.
Which actually has been de-emphasized in recent years and more towards fitness contests. But over time, that's often what we've thought about. Sports Illustrated still has a swimsuit issue, like it's a version of that. But the way that Miss America really begins, particularly, is in the 1920s. That's when you have it kind of take hold and start to take off. It starts in Atlantic City, again, a coastal beach town, a lot of entertainment with the casinos, etc.
When it started, was it just specific to kind of one region? We called it Miss America probably, but was it nationwide?
So it was trying to be nationwide. So it was not called Miss America in the 1920s. It started to adopt that name over the years into the 1930s. So it was not Miss America the first time.
Right.
But the reason that one gets a lot of attention and becomes much more national is because the New York Times had a story that said that 1,000 bathing beauties got together in Atlantic City for this pageant. And so that story helps make it national. Also think about the period in the 20s. The roaring 20s that we think about, right? A time where you have the it girl and you have a lot of pop culture nationalization and icons. So it makes sense that this takes hold then and becomes, I would say, to some extent regional. You can say that. It's not necessarily the first time that they're trying to get someone from every state. It's not as organized the way that we think about it, but quickly does become a national thing the way that we're thinking about. And the other thing to think about in that context is shortly after women got the right to vote. Think about in 1920 that happened. So when you think about Miss America, whether it's back then or today, there is a sort of ideal of womanhood that's represented in there. So that's why today, for example, when you look at the contest, it's not just how good you look, it's talent that you have, right? It's what causes that you take on. You're supposed to represent how accomplished you are, your resume. You're supposed to represent a complete woman. So I do think that sometimes we can look in Miss America and these contests and see a whole person. Now, back then, it might be a little bit different. The whole concept of bathing beauties is literally what they were called. And one of the things that's interesting about that, in the 1930s, so in this time period we're talking about, in Texas, they actually had wood cutouts of women's body shapes that they had to walk through to make sure they fit a certain shape.
Oh, wow. Well, I feel like we are much more positioned for today's audience with what we are doing.
Exactly.
Seems to be the right way forward.
Exactly. So that's why I say that, it's a great example when we look at that, how the representations of what an ideal woman is have changed over time. I think it kind of reflects that when we look at it from those particular time periods, and that's why it's changed today to what we know.
It's funny that you mentioned this, and Bo, I don't know if you ever have any experience with pageants. As a baby, I was my parents entered me into a pageant, which I won as like, I don't know, cutest dimples or something, right? But like this idea,
as I won this baby pageant.
But the idea of pageants kind of breaks out of just being a pageant focused on one particular thing, and now we've got several different kinds. I don't know, Bo, I'm just kicking it over to you. Have you ever competed in anything like this?
No, because If you think about it, it's too long. It's a little weird. I mean, baby pageants, Jason.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I didn't enter it.
Pushing these dames through the cardboard cutouts or like whatever. It's kind of wild when you think about it. But I mean, dog shows, maybe. It's just like, let's all just be awesome.
Yeah, you know, and I've had the opportunity to visit with Peyton, who, again, Miss America's teen, several times, and she always talks about the camaraderie between those that are competing in the pageant together, but really they form kind of a sisterhood, and they're all there supporting and uplifting each other, you know, and I think that that's really wonderful to see.
I think that's really cool, and I've noticed that too. I happen to know this year's contestant from Miss North Dakota, who was in Miss America. Her name is Sophia Richards. She's someone I see on television also. She's a really wonderful person, very, you know, well-rounded person, very talented, as you point out. And she was talking a lot also about the camaraderie that they experience. And you look at her social media, she's always talking about the camaraderie that they experience. And I think it's really cool. Think about it, because now you're going through this experience together for, you know, you've all over the course of a year been going around your state, doing media appearances, doing good things in schools and contributions. You've all taken on a cause, and then you go to this week-long event in Miss America, do this event together, spend time together, they room together, do various activities together, and of course continue beyond that to carry on their cause across the country. So I think it's a very bonding experience.
And another thing I got to mention before we let you go is kind of they all have a platform, no matter what that what that might be. Maybe it's a nonprofit they're supporting, or maybe it's kind of a civic engagement that they're going around. I know that's Peyton's, as she travels around the state and the nation now in working in schools.
That's what I mean by they pick up a cause, and I think that's so important because it brings attention, it brings money, it brings research, you know, money towards contributing. And a lot of these women also, they get scholarships as they win different things, so it helps contribute to their education. Again, continuing the well-rounded aspect that we're talking about. Now, one of the things that's important also locally, think about Miss Arkansas, there's a Miss Senior Arkansas, which connects to Miss America Senior. There's also that for age 60 plus.
That's right.
So again, it goes to show you that at different age levels, there's still the new way of looking at it is accomplishing the well-rounded person, and there is a history to those, and part of the history to that is not just how it began, but the rebellions against it, and then reshaping. And always remember that what we're seeing there is reflecting what we see as an ideal woman, and what ideal woman has changed over the past century, as has then therefore the title of Miss America. Yeah,
it is always kind of evolving and changing and shifting as we do as a culture as well. Well, thanks for filling us in. Fascinating history that we have here in this nation with the idea of pageantry. So thanks for bringing that to us. Stick around. We do have more fun. It's all happening later.